Parents, faculty, and students, on behalf of Carlisle School, I would like to welcome you to this assembly today. Although this year has been filled with disappointments because of COVID, I am thankful for the SCA to provide unique and creative activities to help the student body engaged. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now install executive officers and class officers of Carlisle's Upper Division Student Council Association. The student body has elected them and they will represent you in all student affairs and will serve you as leaders for the 2021-2022 school year. Let us look closely at the purpose of SCA so that we too may pledge our support. The purpose of SCA is to develop democratic ideals, maintain high standards of cooperation, loyalty, and school spirit, develop leadership potential, prepare for adult life and citizenship, encourage all worthwhile activities in school, and serve the student body and the school. At this time, I would like the newly elected executive officers to rise and come forward as each is called so that they might be installed. President Zachary Craddock, please come forward. Zach, as president, your duties shall be 1. To preside at all SCA meetings, 2. Appoint all committees, 3. Be considered as first citizen of the student body and as such to serve as host to visitors and guests, and 4. Act as a liaison between student body and the administration. Do you promise to uphold these duties? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. As president of the SCA, I promise to carry out the duties of president and pledge my support of the student body and the purposes of SCA.
Vice President Elizabeth Wright, please come forward. Elizabeth, as Vice President, your duties shall be to assume duties of the President in his absence, to serve as a parliamentarian, to serve in charge of all student elections, and to monitor SCA board membership requirements, and to be chairman of the activity committee. Do you promise to uphold these duties?
I do.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. As Vice President of the SCA,
As Vice President of the SCA,
I promise to carry out the duties of the Vice President
I promise to carry out the duties of the Vice President
and pledge my support of the student body
and pledge my support of the student body
and of the purposes of the SCA.
and of the purposes of the SCA.
Class officers, please stand at your seats as your names are called. Remain standing. From the rising senior class, President Zachary Southern. Vice President Jameson Smith. Secretary Casey Richardson. Treasurer Anika Banerjee. And senior class representatives Colby Cunningham, Colin Cunningham, and Naomi Sasai. Mackenzie, who is not with us today, and from the rising junior class, President Finley Brightwell. Vice President Cristiano DeMario, who is not with us today. Andrew Trong, who is not with us today, and Treasurer Gabe Richardson. And as a class representative, Chloe Taylor. From the rising sophomore class, President Ariana Osborne, Vice President Jacob Coles, and Secretary/Treasurer Gabriel Gonzalez. From the rising freshman class, President Charity White, who is not with us today. Vice President Scarlett Norman, Secretary Lillian Sullivan, Treasurer Riley Wood, and Freshman Class Representative Abigail Branson. Please listen to the following question and signify your assent by saying, I do. Do you, as a member of the Carlisle SCA Board, promise to carry out the duties of your position as outlined in the Carlisle School SCA Constitution and pledge your support of the student body and of the purposes to the SCA? Class executive officers, please come forward. Students of Carlisle, I present your SCA officers and representatives for the 2021-2020 school year. Officers, please turn around and face the audience to be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. I'd like to thank Haddon and Amelia, as well as many other SCA officers that are leaving, for their hard work these past couple of years, especially this year due to COVID. You have been a huge help for our community. And with that being said, I'd like to talk about some of the things that I plan to do for next year. And I think it's time to bring back the spirit of Carlisle. It's time to get back to our traditions and all the activities that make Carlisle great. And although these last 2 years have been difficult, with the help of our past officers, we were able to continue the school year with lots of ideas. But even though we did so much, we weren't able to do the things that make Carlisle community so great. As president of the SCA, I want to bring back all that makes Carlisle great while instilling camaraderie and school spirit. We cannot go another year without our traditions. Let's bring back our homecoming, mentoring, trunk or treat, the winter social, and our plays. Although we might not be done with masks indoors, that should not stop us from socializing, going outside. Bring back snack time. Let's use our breaks, such as snack time and lunchtime, to better socialize and bring us together. Lunchtime should be a time to relax and decompress. If we must be indoors for lunch, then we should be able to show movies or play music instead of sitting in stifling silence. We need to show our support for our school and our athletes. No more empty stands, no more quiet stands. We need to create a spirit team to get our fans engaged and loudly cheer for our teams. And we need to do a better job at getting the word out about these games and events. Let's create some new traditions. We have spent too much time apart. Let's find ways we can come together, like Friday night movies in our amphitheater, advisory competitions throughout the year, and a spring fling for competition between upper school grades. Our traditions are the fabric of Carlisle, and I want to bring our community closer. Let's turn over a new leaf next year. SCA will be meeting before the school year during the summer by having a picnic to get the ball rolling. And that